Africa.
After 2020?
Yeah, after 2020 going, 2021, 2022, 3, 4 going, if something don't change to give the youth hope, I'm telling you.
Would you find the explanation that we had COVID, we had DDEP, and the downgrades by the rating agencies all led us, eventually got us shut out of the market, the capital market?
But the downgrade was not a primary cause. It is a result.
So the BOG wasn't being straightforward as regards that, because other analysts explained that the reason you were shut out of the capital market because you borrowed too much.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that because the downgrading was not the primary cause, the downgrading was the result of the indicators.
In this case where you're talking about buying the confidence of Ghanaians, what would you have expected the BOG to say as regards why it eventually had to give so much money to the government, because we were shut out of the capital market and we had to save our own?
Yes, and exactly this is what I'm saying, that this was a unique emergency. The fact that whether they should have gone to the parliament or not, I'm not a lawyer to be able to, but if you had to do this, you must come out clean. And I think that if there had been no sustenance of the country, we would have probably had CD jumping to about 20 and other things. So you can explain it, not try to justify that is normal. And I think that, I don't know, probably as a pastor, not a pastor, and a preacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ, I have a different attitude. I think that both the Bank of Ghana and the Ministry of Finance and the government needs to apologize to Ghana for the hardships and then appeal to the patriotism of Ghanaians, because the next 3 years, if we make counter moves, and in economic policy, when you make it, people have to respond. And if people react to it negatively, let me tell you, the worst would lie in the future. But if we accept it and prepare to put in our quota, including even those of us who are pensioners, our pension and other things, we would probably shorten the time in which we will go through.
How would you have expected? You just said that they should come and explain. And I think
they have explained enough. But
the bit about you've talked about apology, but you've also mentioned the fact that the primary cause of we being shut out of the capital market,
because you overborrowed and we couldn't service our debt.
Exactly.
So it wasn't the primary cause.
How did you expect the Bank of Ghana to tell Ghanaians that without making the government unpopular, or probably thinking that it could have negative implications on the market in terms of how we are viewed?
First of all, it's not the Bank of Ghana which borrows the money. It's the Ministry of Finance.
Yes, but it was the BOG that explained that we did ABCD because of this.
No, they are saying that they are having to, their own macro setting has been impacted by that, and that is true.
Yes, but they didn't talk about the borrowings that got us shut out of the capital market. And I'm saying that in trying to explain by omitting the borrowings and citing the downgrades as one of the reasons we were shut out.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now I see what you are talking about.
How did you expect the BOG to come out and say, yes, we admit the government really borrowed so much, and then followed by downgrades without making the government unpopular?
I think that the Bank of Ghana must pay me for this statement. I think that they assume that the downgrade everybody knows that it was caused by the borrowing. But what I'm saying,
the Bank of Ghana committing to that project.
I don't have the figure offhand.
The figure for your headquarters?
I don't have a figure off my head, sir. That's what I'm saying.
$250 million. Are you committing $250 million to that project?
I I don't have the full complement of the figures at this moment.
Mr. Randolph, you are the Director of Finance of the Bank of Ghana. This is a major project that will shake the balance book of every organization. You should have that figure of head. How much are you committing to your head office building? We know it is $250 million. Can you confirm that?
Saddens me, Mr. Speaker. It hurts me, Mr. Speaker. I am in pain, Mr. Speaker. I am in a state of melancholy, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we can't.
I've said it and I'll repeat it again. Those who are coming to this administration thinking that it's an avenue for making a lot of money are going to be disappointed. They better go to the private sector. That is where people make money. Not.
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. Inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
All right, a very good morning to you and you're welcome to the program. It's the 21st of August 2023. Welcome to Good Morning Ghana. We thank the Almighty for giving us yet another day to go through issues of the nation at large. My name is Ania Fuampofo. Let's go through the newspapers now and then we'll get to the guests later. I start off with a daily graphic and it says, no development plan, no budget. NDPC Director General to MDAs. Ministry targets 25% science enrollment this year. West Africa security situation cool, step up terrorist acts, reports. Work to protect democracy, NCC to Parliament. Work to protect democracy, NCCE to Parliament. Be relevant abreast of changing trends, Nana Adwoa Hackman advises new lawyers. The Ghanaian Times. Submission of development agenda by MDAs. No plan, no budget. NDPC warns. Minister launches $14.3 million USAID project to improve access to quality education. Foreign Ministry designate hotlines email to receive extortion complaints. Be guided by truth, honesty. Kwesi Manche to Ga State. Soldier fires himself to death in freak accident. GFA begins investigations. Now, Daily Guide. Nana gives 2.5 million Ghana cedis to young entrepreneurs. Bawumia is religious unifier, Presby moderator. Strive for excellence, law students told. Akosua Menu versus Ga Chiefs. Ghanaian PhD Arabic scholar returns home. Then the new crusading guide. NIB nabs 2 for stealing Greco fiber optic cables. Doma East MP commends GCB. Burkina Faso delegation in Ghana to understudy Ghana's mining architecture. Ghana's mining architecture. Armed soldiers, police ransack mining coy. Siphon diesel, CAF manager to vehicle, cut away 5 excavators. These are the activities the armed soldiers carried out. Aspire to greater heights, Nana Adwoa Hackman to UG graduates. Akosua Menu calls on Ga chiefs. GFC declares intentions to present alternative governance in Ghana. And that's at the top right corner of the new crusading guide. The insight, IGP call your men to order. IGP call your men to order. Aggrieved customers of Gold Coast Fund Management bare teeth at Regional Police Command. Irregular supply of premix fuel affecting fishing activities, Canoe Fishermen Council. Why the Ukrainian counter-offensive is crawling. High cost of living, unemployment rate has left many youth hopeless. Mahama. The Informer. Ousting Niger junta. Security don't doubt military intervention. Akufo-Addo confident in private sector. Few security, government support bust. Bawumia gets tough on armed robbers. At the top right corner, it says in the commentary, will NITU be able to carry the body bags of dead Ghanaian soldiers? The Inquisitor, to settle or not to settle. Number 1 in fresh Fragadam. Anyway, Fragadam is in quotes. Oh, wow. All right, the top right corner says that NSS personnel to receive June allowance today. Godfred Oparijan writes, Dr. Bawumia and NPP Super Delegates Congress. 12 MDAs failed to submit development plans to NDPC. Niger's General Chiani to hand over power in 3 years. The Herald. NDC MPs betrayed John Jinapor over Gensa Energy deal, left him alone to fight Atachia. Ghanaians and expatriates fleeing country over economic hardship. New job in South MP inspects road projects. Coming up, identity of military officers behind sale of peacekeeping mission slots to soldiers soon. And Daily Statesman. 2.5 million Ghana cedis for 4th presidential pitch winners. JF, that's GAF, urged to contribute to government's digitalization strategies. Law lecturer set to recapture Prestia Winning Valley seat, MPP. Nana Adwoa Hackman urges law students to strive for excellence. And the big one says, Ghana committed to peace in Niger. Government emphasizes support for ECOWAS position on diplomacy. The Ghanaian publisher. Strive for excellence. Nana Adwoa Hackman charges law graduates. Bawumia in a big lead. Ahead of Saturday's post, Oppong Nkrumah speaks to media CSOs on Niger. Doma laws government projects completed in Bono, and Operation Double Science enrollment in Offen, MOE, that's the Ministry of Education. The Ghanaian Observer. NPP Superdelegates Conference survey predicts landslide victory for Bawumia. Government targets 25% science enrollment in 2023. 2023 CSSPS contribute to government's digitalization strategies, VIP to Gov. Bawumia is a unifying force for Muslims and Christians. Presby moderator Akufo-Addo announces 2.5 million Ghana cedis money prize for 2023 presidential pitch winners. The custodian. Let's convince Niger junta to comply with diplomacy. Oppong Nkrumah. No paid dues, no votes. NPP National Treasurer tells superdelegates. Bawumia to sweep NPP polls. President moderator says he unifies Muslims and Christians. Interventions to develop northern Ghana not well coordinated. Dambotri. GSS courts public support for 2023 IBES survey. The Daily Post. Soldier accidentally kills himself at Michel camp while readying to take post military. Niger coup leader promises handover in 3 years. Don't fall for Namwan's latest trick. He wants to finish you, PRO of aggrieved Men's Gold customers. Procurement breaches Ablakwa to file for probe into $250 million BOG headquarters building. At the top, it says BOG expenditure. Dr. Bawumia has failed as head of economic management team. Benjamin Kwashi. The Finder, and the final one, put pressure on junta in Niger to comply with diplomacy. Oppong Nkrumah. And Dr. Bawumia is a unifying force for Muslims and Christians. Presby moderator. OSP makes strikes under Kisia Jabing. Can government pay first 2 billion Ghana cedi coupons on new bonds which will mature tomorrow? Tomorrow, okay. 186 killed in July road accidents or July road crashes, an increase of 30%. Law students should be current, strategic, adaptive. Nana Adwoa Hackman. Nana Adwoa Hackman is the one giving the advice. Almost all the papers captured her. All right, so that's what we have for you this morning on the front page of the newspapers. Let's take a breather. We'll be back.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say, but as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and elevators, the elevator people.
Now here, TV, fridge, freezer, air condition, gas cooker, washing machine, smartphone, sound system, water dispenser, microwave, blender, rice cooker, kettle, and iron. Seven Hisense smartphone is a yeah, titi so more than a Hisense factory direct promo. It's in your madada noa, Emma light bill e kuno. Fasi baby, never cheerful for. Everything 28 August, I copy him 2nd September. Be way showroom no. Saturday at no. Sana yet on. Wait dear, ya titi swap bro so. A child who Hisense. Everyday prices for everyday people.
Yamawakwaba, the Nadum Auto Fix and Accessories. Ahadie, a bano KSC near Wakadia. Ubenya Biwa. Caribbean in the house, any new here. Yansu ye wo hwenim de fu a obeso anu yi amao. Nadum Auto Fix and Accessories ye dwumedie de. Eye 24/7 o. Ye sese wo engine, wo brake, battery, yesesa wo tire. Se ba no car wash de a. Ye wo abefun fidie bi ti se steamer ye de horo car engine abra nsuo nko engine nim. Ye san ye detailing metre se ye betwetwe car no mu ba bia amao. Ye wi a ya san polish car na amao kama. Enye hwe no nko ye san to car batteries, tires, rims, any the keke count. Manadum Auto Fix and Accessories Emma Oka and Sine Dadem, then word you mamma. Shisha Yechira coin what down Suman, I saw it down who are any KFC boy Henimu, a one crying. So open information and answer and Bisabia. Press 024-651-9369. Nadum Auto Fix and Accessories. O so young papa.
Do you need a place with a stunning view and serene environment just beneath the Green Mountains with a commercial center and recreational area with an amazing park? Then look no further.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Welcome to Rehoboth Havens, the most affordable yet luxurious gated community located in Damfa, Accra. We have 2 and 3 bedroom houses with spacious park. Let me show you. All of our rooms come with beautiful porcelain tiles, durable fitted kitchen cabinets,
constant water supply,
electricity and water 24/7.
I'm buying this house. Stop processing my papers. Eh? Move it. If you're living in Ghana and want an affordable and luxurious house to buy, look no further than Rehoboth Social Housing Limited. Oh, and to those from the diaspora, aren't you tired of living in places that doesn't belong to you? You can also own your house and be your own landlord from Rehoboth Social Housing Limited. I have my own, Bosu Landlord.
Contact us now. Rehoboth Social Housing. Your housing dream becomes reality.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302-540-668 or 0501-678-547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
For over 20 years of serving the world with herbal and alternative medicine, we've been successful in treating complicated medical conditions with a perfect combination of herbal and alternative methods of treatments like homeopathy, naturopathy, reflexology, and many more. We deliver excellent and effective service to people from all walks of life through scientific and traditional means. We have a well-equipped laboratory with advanced diagnostic and treatment devices to help detect your illness process so we know the right medication to be given. At Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital, we are proud manufacturers of our own herbal medication. Our zeal and passion to save lives with our patients at heart and outstanding achievements since 1996 has won us several awards. That is why we say, go herbal, go Amen. We are located everywhere in all the regions. Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital. Allahu Shafi, God is the He.
My son, there's more blessing in giving than receiving. When you fear for you and couple the makers in
The pneumatological abrasion of the Lord revealed unto me this night that me and my household should go out into the world and bless the world.
Makers Electronics Company Limited. Up to 67% discount. Our selected appliances.
This is what I call quintessential immaculatability.
The Makers Electronics Company Limited. Taifa Burkina Highway. Amasama Zongo Junction. At the K Pharmacy Dining. Oyer Fateman Boga Junction. Ashaman Valco Flat. Kumasi. Ahinema Kokobin. Asafu Buachi Hospital Junction. Takradi. Number 9 Market.
Tell mom and dad about the Makers Blessing Attack program
from 0552 222 253 and 0552 222 254. Terms and conditions apply. The same got to move.
Welcome back. Thank you to the production team. Right. So you're still watching Good Morning Ghana. So let me welcome the guest, Margaret Ansay, aka Margot, speaks for the NDC, and she's here with me. Margot, you're welcome. Good morning.
Annie,
yes.
Thank you. And today I brought you a lot of dollars for your birthday. Yeah, it's in the car boot, so when we finish, I'll go and carry them for you. You know I love you, and I'm a friend you can never unfriend.
Let me just...
Akosha doesn't understand, but you know, oh, Annie, happy birthday. I mean, I believe you had a good time. You need to be celebrated. Waking up early as 2 a.m., 3 a.m., preparing for work, all in the name of God and country. And I mean, you need to be celebrated. We love you. We love your mischief, your propaganda, everything. God bless your new age. And I wish and pray that you'll be celebrating more birthdays. And there will be reasons for we to celebrate with you. Your maker, whatever he's destined for you, is our prayer that it will be permanent and no man, no woman, no devil can change it. God bless you.
Are you a pastor or something? Like
so politician by
but she's so religious.
Annie,
she's religious. I mean, I am religious.
I am all nations.
But you are super.
Yeah. I remember I did an interview with PCS and a pastor called you and said, who be interviewing now? I'm like, you know, when you do politics, there is a perception that, you know, I don't know how people see us, but Annie, it is grace that has carried us here.
It's true.
It is not, people are more intelligent, they have better personalities, they have good utterance to represent and speak for this country. But it's just by grace. We are not special.
Yeah.
It's the grace. So we always go back and see where we started from. As David remembered his started clothes, that anytime he goes to see those clothes, he comes down and give glory and honor to his maker. We always go back for it. Yeah. You're welcome, honey.
I'll tell my story one day. You know, when you said you always wake up at dawn,
yeah,
it's one thing people don't know. Since I started this work, I have never...
You can't sleep.
I've never done an afternoon shift or evening before. I'm always a morning person. Even right from as an intern, you know, I have always been on the morning show, so I've always been a dawn person. So for years, yeah, I've always been a dawn person. If you tell me to come to work at 12, you're worrying me. It won't help me. Of course, you're welcome.
Thank
You've been
you.
missed.
I wish I could say I've missed you too.
Oh, you wish you could say?
I wish I could say, but I missed you in some ways. I missed you in some ways.
You know, Aposha is very mischievous.
I miss you.
She's always calling me names.
Where is Amma?
Who's
Amma?
Let me wish her a happy birthday. And in wishing her a happy birthday, she refuses to disclose her age. Even off air, she didn't say it. Understand she's operating with a football age, but that's fine.
Can you imagine?
You're still a very gorgeous young lady.
Football ages are normally younger, right? Or older?
Younger.
I hear Nanado's football age
29 years old. But that's okay.
78.
You hear I'm 29.
Annie, you are very unique.
Then I'll tell my age.
You are very unique in this space. And I believe that you have a fine opportunity to impact on the lives of young people. Good Morning Ghana has been around for over 20 years, and you become a core part of it. I'm hoping that as you step into new heights, you use the platform to inspire, encourage, and bring positivity into the lives of people. Media space is a unique one for a lot of people. And so platforms can be used to sow seeds of greatness in young people who probably do not have the opportunity to get inspired anywhere else. So usually in the mornings, I like that bit of extra, positivity. That's what I was telling Tornado of the song that starts on Good Morning Ghana. It went off for a couple of months. It really it was just a very nice wake-up call. It's a Thanksgiving song. But I'm hoping to see many, many, many more years with you. Not necessarily on this platform. Bigger things should happen for you as well. So happy birthday. Less mischief. More joy. More learning. More growing. More greatness. That's what I wish you. God bless you in all that you do.
Bless you. Amen. So I will take the offertory.
You said you brought dollars in a car boot, which was very significant to note.
I mean, that's actually shocking, but I'll take it anyway.
Oh yeah, you know me now. You know how I do my things.
Where did you go before coming here?
I have dollars for
knowing how you do your things.
And you don't do that.
So well,
Storytelling
another brilliant lady who also celebrated her birthday yesterday.
Okay.
Is the second lady.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Madame Samira.
Yesterday was her birthday.
Mahmoud
Baumia. The lovely, elegant, eloquent, intelligent.
You know what I like about her? Her voice.
Her voice. Very sweet.
Oh, okay. I've not heard her in a while.
She has such a sweet voice. Okay. I like when she speaks. I just want to listen to the voice. Yeah. I love her voice.
That's also very hypnotic.
Very. The word hypnotic. She has a hypnotic voice.
Hey.
So Mrs. Baumia,
I rather listen to the word.
But are you lining up the people in August?
August, you guys are plenty.
It's not just people. Me, I'm even lucky.
People in the political space, you mean?
Yes,
I mean,
I think April takes it. April has
April we are there, but August who is there?
Oh, yeah,
nobody takes it over August.
Are you sure?
Nobody.
Okay, in Ghana,
nobody.
As well, you encompass all of it.
As in nobody.
Just because you celebrate.
Someone said
nobody.
If you were not born in April, you weren't born.
Actually.
So probably you too, if you're not born in August, you are trying to tell us that we weren't.
You are living in your head.
Actually, the second lady alone is monumental for August. So yeah, August takes
I said nobody.
I agree.
August.
Oh. But who else?
Yes, especially
Mr. Pratt last week.
The Leo people.
And Obobia as well. I think Obobia is August.
She's also Leo.
Yes, she's also August.
But she's also just 4 people you mentioned so far.
I think she's.
So we have Kwesi Pratt. We have
Kwesi.
We have Okujeto Ablakwa.
Oh, okay.
We have Mrs. Baumia.
Okay.
We have Annie.
I think there are some controversies around August.
It's a thing with. I think it's a thing with. I think it's a thing with Leos.
Okay, Leos, you guys, you have your uniqueness and your mood swings, and
we have a very funny way of
But
seeing things.
You try. Your mood swing. It doesn't come often. Leo,
Honey,
It doesn't count.
I
You
know
see that he's laughing.
Okay, they have been experiencing
Anyway, so well.
I have your age now. I have 3 people sending it to me.
What did they say? Mention them.
I won't say
Oh,
it.
no, mention. Oh, don't worry. I don't have a problem.
Oh, but if you want Annie's age, see me.
No, how about
I know,
is it my father or my mother that sent it to you?
You're paying.
So, well, Akosa Menu is Deputy CEO for the National Youth Authority and also a member of the NPP communications team. But she's going to Adenta.
Adenta Rosalinda.
Adenta. I don't like, please, I'm her brand manager. She's not Rosalinda.
Margot's name that she's
I
giving
don't
to
know
me
why
that
they've
was-
given you. Why? Is it because...
No, it's only Margot that
Yeah,
she's.
That's where is Rosalinda.
I'll tell you later.
I don't.
Okay, so...
Maybe that was what... You also contested once, right? So
2016, yeah.
Wild candidates.
Oh. Hey, I beg you.
So, what does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, who's got the moolah, got the power as well. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adom TV at 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. daily. Now, pick up your phones, tablets, and computers and download the Game Park Games app on Play Store. You can also play on our website. It's www.gameparkgames.com or by dialing star 946 hash on all networks. Just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. 4 numbers from 0 to 9, and it's easy to play and easy to win. So you want to make this game and make some moolah, what you call cash, right? So nobody beats our alt in Ghana. Game Park Games, more moolah, more power. This game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority, not for persons under 18, so you play responsibly. Enjoy the fruits of your labor, as they say, as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. So it often becomes challenging, if not possible, to use our stairways day in, day out. Worry no more, because with portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVEs, you are sure of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It is simple to use self-supported elevators for vehicle movement of humans and goods at home and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made modules and the wheelchair accessibility to choose from. You may also call it luxury, but it is a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging and infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home or office. And it's also affordable and it can be installed within 3 days with modification to your building. So lifts, it says, visit Lifts and Elevators Ghana, Sakumono, for your solutions and free consultation. You want to call 0200-535-515 or email them at elevatorsgh@gmail.com. And why you don't want to secure your future with Accra Business School, it's only your business, but boost your career with our prestigious MCE degrees from KNUST. Pick from HRM, Communication and International Marketing, International Relations, Public Affairs, or IT Management. And it says in just 12 months, our MBA can be yours. Dive into our BSc programs in ICT, Security and Cybercrime, IT Management and Business Management, endorsed by top universities in Ireland and Wales. And it goes on to say that we offer flexible entry payment and learning options, convenience, to you. It's time to unlock your potential and take position. Visit www.abs.edu.gh or call on 0263-888-555 or 0263-888-666. Visit the campus at Spintex Road, Christ Square. Let's Accra Business School elevate your future today. And then you add some more certificates, to your achievements. In Ghana, you need it. You actually need it, especially in a country like ours, right? So let's talk about an issue that I think concerns the youth, concerns our development, concerns our future as well, because the youth is responsible for the future. We want to make sure that they're doing all the right things and that would develop them to take over from our leaders today. So last week, there was a bit of controversy. And I think it almost sets all of us into a state of confusion, right? We didn't know what we really wanted. What do we want in terms of taxing bets, games, right? And the law kicked in last week. And so you start paying 10% of your winnings to government for revenue generation. No matter what you do in every country, your profits you make, you always have to pay taxes on them, all right? But is this something we support? So there was a confusion. Sometimes you hear that one political party, they're speaking with different voices. You're not sure what the party stance is, you know. And we know that in this country, the political parties that are in charge of everything we do, everything, I mean, name it. Even in the private sector, the political class controls, you know, so after this law kicked in, we heard from, you know, some communicators from NDC, from MPP, speaking with different voices. You're not sure. But Sammy Gyamfi, who speaks for the NDC, also released a statement to clarify something. And he said that Arise Ghana to join Occupy BOG demo, if BOG, okay, not this one. But let me find what we're talking about. Okay, you in the state of looking for the statement. Let me go to the guest and then I'll get their position on that. Later, I'll refer to the statement. Right, so Bango, let me start with you. Okay. Firstly, let me ask what the position of the NDC is when it comes to the 10% taxing of bets.
Okay. Thank you very much, Annie. A special good morning to you, your team, Akusia, then your cherished viewers. Annie, the NDC, I think in recent times through the youth wing, has even issued a statement against the 10% tax on gross earnings of bettors, like those who... I think even President Mahama said something about it not quite long ago, that he is not supporting betting. But if it has come to stay and the government is taxing them, and I think there should be some consideration around it. First of all, the government of the day, when they were campaigning in 2016 elections, they made a lot of commitments and they made a lot of statements with regards to taxation. The famous one that Dr. Baumia said is, that one even aside, on the 1st of December 2016, President Nana Addo said, he was then a candidate. He said, if you are tired of high tax rates, vote Akufo-Addo. That was December 1st, 2016. Then, again, he said, the ordinary worker in Ghana has been burdened unduly with taxes. A reduction in taxes will mean more disposable income for families. Again, Alhaji Baumia, NDC has resulted to increasing taxes under the economic difficulties they created. An MPP government will do differently. So, Annie, these are some of the comments they made on Twitter, other social media handles on their campaign platforms. And the famous one that the Vice President also said that they are going to move the country from taxation to production. Annie, we know the famous Kumipreku demonstration was on VAT, led by the current president of this country. So if any person or any government will burden the citizens with taxes, we least expect President Akufo-Addo and his team to do this. And again, the reason why the youth is so concerned, Annie, there are no jobs. The rate of unemployment, it's so high. The Ghanaian youth has nothing doing. So when they wake up, aside social media and other things, The other means of surviving is through this betting. I don't really know much about how they do it or what they put into it and whatsoever. But if someone gets a little from betting, then probably can use it to go and start a business. I don't know how much they get, but if you can get 2,000, 3,000, where you can go into farming with it, or someone can start an online business, something with it, and you are taxing and taxing the gross and taxing 10%. We think it's so outrageous, and the government must consider it.
When you say they are taxing the gross, what do you mean? As in their winnings?
Their winnings. It's, and 10%, and it's so outrageous. I know there are other lotteries and other things that it, but I don't know how many youth are in lottery. But I think with this gaming, betting thing, most of our youth are into it. And in all these things that we do, I mean, this is a people-centered democracy. So policies and everything should be about the national security and the national interest. And where is the national interest? The people. This is a country that 60% of its citizens are below 30, per the Ghana Statistical Service. So most of the youth are into this. So I need the youth wing of the NDC, which I belong to, is asking the government to take off the 10% on the gross of the better, the winner. Should take it off.
Why?
You are betting the
Why?
The taxing, the gaming institutions, those who are into it, the betting institutions already. The young man who has, let's say, 50 Ghana cedis and has gone to bet and gotten, let's say, 2,000. I mean, taking 10% from it. Already,
but you know, it's a conflicting position for you to take as a party. If you say that, well, President Mahama does not support betting.
Exactly.
But it's also encouraging that the young men or the youth that are into it can do it and win the money for free.
Annie,
that
currently
that makes it lucrative. That even though you have a position of discouraging them for not to go into it, you are still encouraging that they do it because there's a lot of money in it and it's legal. You know, in this country you can bet and it's okay. Yeah. So how is it that it's legal, you can
Annie,
bet,
if
but you don't want to pay
up,
taxes on it?
If you wake up in the morning and have a job to do, you wake up early, you come to sit here, you do good morning, you do good afternoon, whatever, I don't think you will get the luxury of time to go and bet. But if the young man has nothing doing, the young woman has nothing doing, needs a little capital to start up a business, and realize that there is something that if I put in a little, I can get. I don't have much knowledge into this betting thing here, so I can't know how the modus operandi is or what even goes into it. But you know, let me just do a guesswork that if I have 50 Ghana, then I can get 2,000 or 3,000 out of it. Maybe if I went and Arsenal and Chelsea are playing and then I support Chelsea for whatever reason, then Chelsea won. I think there's something, that is how they go about it with the football thing. I don't know the other categories that they go into. If I have 50 Ghana to do this and I can get 3,000 out of it, that I can start selling pure water or yokogari or something for workers who are working somewhere. I mean, because the person has no job. And if the thing has come to say, and as you said, it's legal, the multinational companies or the companies who are into this are paying their loyalties or their taxes or whatever, and it's legal, then since there are no alternative to abolishing this, let's consider the young people of this country who are going into it to get a little capital to start something.
So that is
my focus.
This is an alternative for the young men who are not working.
If you don't have a job to do, so and you need to start something.
But this is bringing in income. So you have to pay. Because then, like I'm borrowing your word, alternative. If you were working, I'm sorry, I'm using my left. If you were working, you would pay taxes.
Exactly.
So if this is an alternative and you are generating income, why are you not paying taxes on that?
I mean, at least there should be a threshold. You see, in making a decision, you always have to consider the poor. If I have 50 Ghana or 100 Ghana and I can get a 2,500, and someone who has, let's say, a 500 Ghana and can get like 50,000. Annie, the two of us should not be put into one bracket, or all of us should not be painted with one broad brush. Consider the one who doesn't have much as against the one who has much but decides as a means of luxury or fun or something that goes into it. So if a young poor person is having 50 Ghana and can get...
I'm not comfortable with you using the word poor on those guys.
Annie,
I just feel like those who bet, they are not poor.
Annie, it depends. Probably you and I, we haven't been there. That is why I don't even know what goes into it.
I'm with them.
So you know how...
every day, I'm with them.
And they are not poor.
No, I won't describe them as
poor. They have jobs
poor.
doing.
No.
They are doing very well and they earn salaries and they decide to go into
But where did they get the money from?
Annie, 50 Ghana, you can dash 50
You know
Ghana.
you don't win always.
Exactly.
They keep investing.
Exactly.
Sometimes they can bet for about 3 months and win 0. And they will still be betting.
And with how much?
I don't know, it depends. It depends on how you want. The odds are different.
So the monies are huge in it.
Yes. Someone can bet with 500 cities. Someone can bet with 1,000 cities. Risking...
If someone can bet with 1,000
winning
cities,
or losing, say about 50,000 cities, or I don't know the percentages, but someone can bet so much and they keep betting without winning, and they keep betting, and I'm wondering, you don't work, as you say, right? So where are you getting the money from?
Honey, if someone is able to get 1,000 Ghana cedis to go and bet, then that person is in a different
exactly my
threshold.
point.
We are also looking at people who are below that. The 20 Ghana, the 10 Ghana, the 12 cities, the 15 cities. So why are we putting all of them together?
So government must do targeting with a 10% application.
In 2015, when we had the law on lotteries, we had the threshold.
Okay.
The books are there to show. We had the threshold until they came in 2017 and with their populist way came to cancel it. And now they have introduced it and even increased the tax.
Okay.
We had a threshold. If you go, that one wasn't betting. Betting wasn't inclusive. But in lottery, if you go and cast your banker to banker, like 100 Ghana, and you're able to get below 2,700, you were not in that bracket. It was taxed above 2,500 and something, and even that, not on the gross. But with this one that affects everybody, including lottery, betting, whatever, the 10% cuts across. And it's being taxed on the gross. When you go to the GRA site, it is there. It is not your net, it's your gross. But when we introduced the tax in lotteries, we had the threshold. And even in that threshold, your gross was not taxed.
Okay.
You understand? But that one didn't include gaming or betting. It was specifically on lottery. And this government came in 2017 as part of their claims that they were cancelling nuisance taxes. They came to cancel it and later have introduced, increase and include everybody and every betting, whatever, in it. So you see the justification, that is why I don't understand. In one breath, on lottery, where we had threshold, you came to cancel it. So why are you reintroducing and even increasing the taxes and including everybody? So as a political party, I can speak for us that we had a tax on lottery and we had a threshold. And it was not even 10%. And the MPP in 2017, through their populist approach, came to cancel it. And now they have reintroduced, increased the taxes, included everything, everybody. But we were promised that we were not going to tax our people. President Akufo-Addo said, if you are overtaxed, vote for President Akufo-Addo. Dr. Bawumia said, we are not going to tax our people. We are going into production. So why is it that suddenly they found money in betting? It's betting production. What are they producing
But
there?
there's a lot of money in betting.
So we are not going to tax our people. We are going into production.
I cannot give you the numbers, but the gaming community is making so much money in this
so
environment.
When they were,
government cannot watch on and watch its youth patronize it and not
pay taxes.
No, and not generate revenue from that
So
area.
taxes are good.
Yes.
Taxes are good.
I will not sit anywhere and say taxes are not good.
Yes, Annie. So why were they telling Ghanaians that if you are overburdened with tax, vote for President Akufo-Addo? Why did Dr. Bawumia say that we're going to move this country from taxation to production? Why did President Akufo-Addo say, prior to their election, 2016 election, that Ghanaians are in difficulty and the government is overtaxing them. Government is burdening them with taxes, so they should vote for him. And if you give me these promises and you come to power on these promises and you come and do otherwise, does that mean that you did not have any plan? It was just rhetoric, or you were just deceiving the people? That is my point. I don't know anything about taxes. I have not been there. How do you call it? In betting, I don't know what goes into it. I don't even know how much. I got shocked when you said people can even use 1,000 Ghana cedis. I have never heard it before.
That's about the least I know. I mean, in terms of maybe bigger sums.
I do not have an idea.
They can bet 5 cedis, 15 cedis, 20 cedis. But in the thousands, they can bet from 1,000, 2,000, 5,000.
So if we voted for a government that promised us, I mean, our leaders must be taken for their words.
But they didn't say they are coming to cancel taxes.
So as of that time in 2016, what were the taxes that were available that they told Ghanaians to vote against President Mahama in the NDC and vote for them? And how many taxes have they introduced? I mean, all the ESLA, the whatever that they spoke against, what is the situation now? You said the government must be consistent. You don't need power and you lie your way through power and come and do otherwise. This thing, they must be spoken to, truth must be told, like we should tell them the truth in their faces. So in their next world or in their next campaign, at least they have experienced governance, they will be truthful with Ghanaians. Because you don't lie to the people and come and do otherwise. We all heard them that as for taxes, someone even said it's a lazy man's approach. So are they hardworking people now? Or they are just sitting down doing nothing and taxing the young people who don't even have meaningful jobs? I mean, this is about national security and it's about national interest as well. What are the alternatives they are providing? All these taxes that we have also been paying for the past 7 years, I mean, what good have they been put into?
So do you support the taxing of this field called the betting?
Do I support?
Do you support?
The 10% is...
When you come, are you going to, maybe abolish the tax or even
in the first place, the betting, as I said, morally, I'm sure leaders have concerns about it. But it has come to stay now. And so far as we are not in government, we cannot tell them to abolish betting or gaming, whatever it is. We cannot tell them to. But at least the little we can say to ease the burden of Ghanaians is that consider the people who are into it. Consider them, consider the situation. My point is that somebody needs just 5,000 to start up a business. And if that is so, why are you taking 10% of the gross? Whilst the gaming institution or company or whatever is all also paying taxes. I didn't know people could even have bet with 1,000 Ghana cedis. So what it means is that people can even go higher. But somebody who can bet with 1,000 Ghana cedis is not poor. So at least let there be a threshold. I have given you an example as in what we did with lotteries without betting. So if you are doing this, at least consider the people involved. These are your citizens. What are the situations? What are the studies around all this betting that the youth are so much into? Because I hear it's all over Twitter and whatever. What are the studies around it? Has the government conducted any studies around it? What are the national security issues around it? Why are the youth so much? You see, they should come out with something. If these are the problems, or is it that the people are just enjoying it? I mean, they should come out with something. Then we will know holistically how to stop this or how to manage this or how to get our people busy with work and probably will not venture into this kind of thing.
Let me engage Akosia on that too. Akosia, what is the position of MPP on betting?
Okay, so just to be clear, when you asked her the question, she wasn't able to really validate what the position is. All she said was the youth organizer was against it.
I did not say the youth organizer.
You said Pablo.
I said, hey, did I mention Pablo's name here?
No.
Well, why are you doing selective amnesia?
No, I'm saying you mentioned that.
What did you
mention?
Your youth organizer, take your time. Take your time.
Okay.
First of all, the question was clear. What is your party's position on it?
And
Also, what I can say is that the youth organizer has actually released.
I said the youth wing.
I had
okay,
yes.
so the youth wing.
Yeah.
The
I didn't mention
the
some.
wing acts in vacuum.
So that
the wing.
There is a wing.
No.
No,
so there's
please,
a statement.
please.
So
No,
there's
no,
a
no,
statement
no.
signed.
I said the youth
Let me
wing.
see if it's Pablo that
Don't
signed it. Let me see
personalize
if I
it.
can-
It's the youth wing.
Personalization. I'm just being clear on what your party's
So,
position is.
quote what
And it's
I
fair to
said.
ask
I
that
did not
question so
mention
that I can also
names.
make
No, I
comments.
did not mention names
So
here.
the
I said the youth wing.
is the wing that can issue out statements without anybody signing a release on it.
I did not mention Pablo's name.
Without anybody signing, Pablo signed it.
Thank you. Okay. So the youth wing.
So it
as
says that
signed by the youth organizer.
abolish the 10% bet tax now. It's signed by George Opariado, National Youth Organizer.
Thank you. So their youth organizer is against it, and we have.
It's a youth wing.
It's a youth wing.
It's not just the organizer, except that the statement was signed by the organizer.
No problem. So and then officially from their own party, there's no clear position.
No.
Just individual opinions. So I know my own sister Gabriela is for the taxing. I know that in some time past, at least 2 quotes to the current communications director, who also was for the taxing of it. It's just to make a few things clear. I'm no expert in betting or taxes or whatnot. I'm just using information available. So when economies grow, or when new industries
when you say the
emerge,
organizer, is it the communication? You mean Sami Jenfi?
Sami Jenfi, yes.
Okay.
There are videos that attest to the fact that he supports
it.
Yes, that he supports.
So,
now,
have you answered your question? Is the MPP
you had your
supporting it?
time. Let me finish. First of all, it's very clear what is the argument that should we tax betting.
So he has not officially spoken on it, I'm told.
Okay.
The statement that I received has to do with the BOG issues. It says, "Arise Ghana to occupy demo if BOG governor, deputies and board of directors do not resign." But I haven't heard an official comment on this. If you've seen the videos, maybe you can help us.
Okay, so basically, but I've seen more than one video where they claim that it's right to tax it. Now, when new industries emerge, or when you realize that there's an ecosystem of revenue from whatever, I wouldn't even call it trade, some engagement is going on and people are making money. Government turns its eyes to it to ensure that, first of all, that they're operating within some laws, and secondly, to also ensure that something comes back to government, be it in the form of taxes at best. So it's not an introduction of a new tax. There's actually been an amendment of the income tax. Okay, so it's not a new tax being introduced. Now, Annie, if you are working, you're actually taxed
on your salary, withholding.
You do not make the argument that government didn't help you to find your job. As a result, government has no business taxing you, right? Nobody makes that argument. Or somebody starts a business and says, you didn't help me as government to give me my capital or my startup, or find equity through some other means, or put me through some JV for me to start my business. As such, I'm not paying you taxes. Nobody says that. Now, when you come to the conversation on taxing for games, and it's not just games, there are the casinos, there are the sports bets, there are the raffle games and draws and whatnot. You tax essentially to gain what? Revenue. What does the revenue go into? The revenue goes into infrastructure, roads, all these things that we as citizens have to use to get, to get along. Now, the argument that young people, and this is where I was a bit confused as to what point she was making, because she was like, she's not an expert in the law and blah, blah. Bottom line is that the position is that there's a lot of revenue generated from these games. If we make a conclusive argument that it's only young people unemployed who have no means to earn a keep are engaged in gambling, we will be wrong, because you'd find out that there are a lot of professional people who are also
involved. Right.
Now, there was data I was looking for, and this is as far back as the closest I could get was 2016, where the data is that 48% of people in the bracket of 17 to 35 years place a bet at least once a month. Once a month, people, 48% of those in the youth brackets, which currently stands at 11.4 million people, place a bet. Now, 48%, it could be higher.
This data is from where?
This is a research paper, 2016. I'll find the paper for you. And it said net gaming revenue, after taxes and all that had been taken, was revenue of 3.5 million USD monthly, which validates what you say when you say you know them, you see them. As to how much of a minimum people bet, I've heard 100 cedis. The language of odds and favors and whatnot. I've heard somebody bet 100 and make 11,000 Ghana cedis because he could determine that Spain would win in the Women's World Cup one goal. I mean, the more you have these odds or whatever, I believe that's where the stakes go higher. Now, the conversation for me is it necessary to tax? I believe it is necessary to tax. Why? Because there are people who have decided that it's not about unemployment, but they feel their luck so shines that they have to use this as a means to an end. So for instance, let's say I'm using a comparison to the UK. If you decide that you bet for fun and not necessarily as a means to an end, the taxes do not really touch your earnings. If you decide that you don't have any means of earning a keep, and that is your mainstay, you'll be taxed because it means that you are trading. It's considered some form of a trade.
Yeah.
So where do we ring fence the argument of I make 2,000 cedis a month, I make 2,000 cedis after taxes, and I decide to put 500 Ghana cedis into betting, and I bet on games. So people are risking their lives on pitches and playing a 90-minute game. And I determined that West Ham will beat Chelsea. And it happens. And out of what I put in there, I make money. What existed was VAT on the stakes, right? And VAT on the stakes, the problem was implementation, monitoring and ensuring that it was actually being levied. I do not know the technicalities of it as to why it failed. But subsequently, it's become easier for operators and even those in the system to say that let's push it towards winnings. Now, the consideration that exists, and I was just having a conversation with somebody who actually operates in that space, and he was saying that what is being introduced. So for instance, I'll use Kenya and Ireland. I was trying to actually read a lot around it, going over to what makes it easier for governments in terms of raising revenues, why some governments raise a higher tax on it. Cambodia, for instance, as an example, the argument she's making in terms of along the way, she said something about youth and not having opportunity or not. They realized their young people, despite opportunities that existed, were actually engaged in gambling. To reduce their interest in gambling, they raised the stakes. Guess what? It had little to no impact on it. Immediately they pulled back a bit, but guess what? They went into it some more. It means that there's an appetite for chance games, and it's not even with who a human being is or what our affinities are. It goes all the way. Do you remember that balloon game? It comes around during Christmas. I forgot the name.
Yeah.
Where you pay some money and then you select a number.
And then you throw. I forgot.
Did you throw? It's like they tear something. I forgot the name.
There's a card.
Try your luck.
You try the number,
then
they go to the balloon card and pick.
And you cast.
So usually the bigger ones are
so
few.
We've been
so
betting
you
since
buy
we were
and buy and buy.
We've been betting since we were kids. Game of chance.
You get a big one, yeah.
Game. So you do, and it wasn't for free. You keep paying till you want to get the really huge balloon. And more often than not, some people never get it.
Yeah,
and when it comes to these games, sometimes some people feel that some people are just generally lucky. Like you said, some people can go 3-4 months, nothing, and then they go one time and then boom, they hit. Now, if that platform exists, why not make that consideration? The difference, and I'm getting back to you on this, 2 new taxes are the 20% that on the gross gaming revenue. Gross gaming revenue is the stakes minus, is literally stakes minus winnings. So for instance, she bets 10,000, I bet 10,000, you bet 10,000. That's a gross revenue of 30,000. Then the win is that England will beat Spain. So you and I bet England will beat Spain, and she bets that England would win, right? So, sorry, Spain will win. So guess what? 30% has accrued to the company, and per her win, let's say she did the odds of a chance or whatever, and she just put in the 10,000 she put in. So now she gets her 10,000 back plus maybe an extra 5,000 or whatever the stakes were. So now she has 15,000 back, but the company generated what? 30,000. So 30,000 minus the 15,000 would give you what the actual earnings accrued to the company is. Now you look at it in terms of, okay, it was corporate income tax that they were taxing them on the profits that they earn as a company. So you can take casinos. There are some casinos where, you know, these slot machines, in my mind, I feel like they're always rigged for you to fail. But some people would put the slot machines in and you see a big buyout or bonus or money they make. So you see that consistently the companies make money. Every now and then there's a huge crash. When I say a crash, where multiple people earn and they earn in huge amounts and literally wipe out the stakes that were placed into it. But it comes down to the fact that how do we decide to just look on for these monies to keep growing and not tax? It's no different from, like I said, you watching.
But it starts from a party's position. That's why I first asked.
The party's position is I mean, government is...
As MPP, do we support betting?
I do not.
So it's twofold in this issue.
Even with the amendment of this tax, it's clear that the party's position is that government needs revenue, and revenue will come from certain sources that we need to streamline.
So government supports the fact that young men...
You can take individually people's views.
Can be betting. Government is not bothered about the moral angle of it. It's fine if you want to bet, go and bet. But
the moral conversation is not something that government is too big to go into a moral conversation because betting has existed for years. The only difference now is paying attention to the fact that in some countries, revenue is mobilized greatly from betting. Sami JV himself made the argument that if we have to bet, then we need to ensure that revenues from betting goes into sports management and whatnot.
Sami's position, and
we can also make...
I think Akosua is making on Sami's position. He said in UK, taxes are being laid on the companies to go into sports infrastructure, not on the winners. So please, let's
people.
Yeah, not on the...
Bottom line, he was not against the taxing of companies. Let's not go back and forth on
No. So don't quote him wrongly.
He needs to clarify what
he's done that
about betting.
No, you are quoting him wrongly.
I'm not quoting. You yourself is even confused as to whether we should quote or not. You don't know the taxes, but you think young people should be given monies to start farms. And she's telling you that even when they put 1,000 cedis into the betting, they make more than 10,000 cedis.
Who said that?
Anyway,
the person is confused and doesn't know what.
Please,
Akosua, make your statement. You are being asked whether your party wants...
It's
in support of betting and taxing.
You took it back to taxes. You are confused about what you even believe.
What is your government's position on it? You haven't answered that question.
Is what I'm answering.
That your party is in support.
And it's not an introduction of a tax.
So go ahead with your submission.
Yes,
don't bring me. If you bring me in, I'll come in. And Sami did not say that, please.
Let's not be confused.
If you bring me in, I will come in.
In 25 minutes that you are clueless about taxes. You are clueless about why government is taxing. You are clueless about the taxing business. Then you come to a bit of 2,700 Ghana cedis.
Correct your guess. No, correct your guess.
I'm saying that she said she had no idea about it. She doesn't know why.
About what? She didn't say that. She said
you are lying.
She said I'm sorry. Let me do that.
No,
she said
correct your guess.
She's not sure how the whole activity of the betting works. She was talking about the technicalities of the betting. I even said I also don't know how, but I know at least there are some things you hear, like you're saying.
So she's
not about
that.
Referring to the previous gaming and
like her party's position is
she's saying that.
And let her retract it. I did not say I did not know about taxes. What do you mean by that?
The listeners listen to you.
What do you mean by that? I mean, you are the host.
Let's continue.
So correct your guest and don't let her quote me wrongly.
I don't know why you're still bothered by my submission on what is here.
I'm not even listening to what you are saying, but don't quote me wrongly.
Let's use some facts and not confusion. If 3.5 million cedis is accrued monthly from taxing alone, and there's information that having used the VAT system, it hasn't been easy to implement it successfully, meaning that there are loopholes. What other ways are there to ensure that really and truly we are getting there's some fairness in the system? Now it becomes a conversation of one, is 10% high or low? Is 20% high or low, or is too much? So I see a couple of young people are texting me, Mommy, the 10% is too high. Now I know that one of them bets every now and then. I probably have to get more information when it comes to that. But beyond that, you also have these taxes that you cannot, well, I wouldn't want to say dismiss, but like you said, you cannot overlook it. Annie, you can't overlook it. I don't know what it means to say that young people are losing money, or there are no avenues for young people, so they go and bet. But Annie, how much do you use to bet? If somebody is using 1,000 Ghana cedis or even 2,000 Ghana cedis to bet, it's a good question to ask that if you say you are unemployed, where are you getting 1,000 cedis or 2,000 Ghana cedis to bet? And some of them will tell you that they started off with 100 cedis and their capital grew, and their capital in betting. So it's like those wild stories that we hear that I started a business with a restaurant with 1 tin of rice and 2 sardines, or those funny stories that we hear. But if as far back as 2016, per the little data I have, you can have $3.5 million alone from betting. And I dare say that since 2016, more betting companies are coming to the system. You just literally announced a new game park or something, which is an app. And I don't even know the minimum that goes into it, but I'm sure for young people, even if they don't listen to the show, it's going to pop up on their phone for them to download. So at a certain end, the corporate income tax that was being slapped on the gaming companies has now been shifted to winnings. So on the winnings, yes, we didn't tax on winnings before. A certain percentage on winnings.
It was the companies that were taxing.
It was the companies that were taxing. So if indeed we do agree that it's not, I don't even want to go into a conversation of banning taxes or whatnot, because if we are to ban it, it has to be a very cohesive conversation.
So once we have once we have entertained it, we have accepted that it should join the gaming community, and we have now introduced a tax of 10%. It means as a government we support it.
It means as a government you have to,
because you cannot be benefiting from something you don't support.
So it's when you say supporting
betting,
the party has never indicated anywhere as a moral conversation that we're against betting. I do not recall. Individual opinions, it can be on religious basis or whatever, people individually. But governments at its tiers, even in terms of what it inherited, hasn't been against betting. Now, when you look at there
are some practices of the youth that might not necessarily be illegal. But as a government, because you're also projecting into the future, looking at how the future of the country looks like, by the way you are developing your youth and your young people, you are also interested very much so in how they're grooming themselves into the future. So when it comes to betting, for me, I think it goes beyond just morality. It's like, you know, when we talk issues of boyfriend, girlfriend matters, and sometimes it's really very trivial. Much ado about nothing, yes, really trivial. But issues that has to do with brain generation, development, and all how people see things and how they grow, it really must go beyond betting. But you don't want to get your people engage in certain things that they will be so much,
good,
passionate about it, and it's like easy way of making money. And
so you brought it to a conversation that I would prefer we even discuss. So, for instance, we are putting energies into what young people are doing, which we feel impacts negatively on their growth. There are some people who tell you that through betting they raise capital to start up businesses, but we can't boldly find those people to come and sit here to talk about it. So, for instance, what are young people doing? Last Friday, presidential pitch. It's been in the running for a number of years now, and consistently we've seen young people. In fact, the age bracket for presidential pitch is targeting young entrepreneurs between the ages of 15 to 40. But most of the time, applicants are well below 35 years, well below 30 years. And they go through a comprehensive panel, pitching their ideas, is innovation, scalability, giving young people the opportunity to start their own thing, and then getting seed funding to start. As we speak, I went for a program, the launch of the Incubation Hub in University of Ghana. At the Incubation Hub, where students of Legon, before finishing school, sit down and map out their ideas for business. A group of 3 boys discovered something that literally tests fibroids in women, right? And look, when it comes to tech or anything in that space, the amount of money involved and its funding over time is a lot. And government, as always, is stretched and cannot necessarily give unlimited funds to one group or cohort or whatnot. But these same young people have found opportunities for business. These are the things that I feel that we should have conversation about and highlight what young people also are doing. And I know that you say that as a journalist, your focus is not just on about good news and whatnot. We should bring the good news to you. But it helps to give young people a platform to showcase what they are doing in the same Ghana. So one person is crying and saying that I do not have opportunities. Another person is saying that right here, even before I finish school, I'm sitting here with my friends and I found opportunities which has even piqued interest. There was one of them I literally spoke about, I discovered last week, where Silicon Valley, has identified, and it doesn't just, it's multiple, Meltwater, it's university. Amazing things going there. So for instance, if on betting, it's not up to me to stop it, but the revenues from it, I would want it to go into NEIP programs. I want it to go to incubation hubs in the tertiary institutions. So young people that are looking for opportunities, especially when it comes to business and finding startup capital, or get that seed funding and get that launch pad to start their own businesses. And once you do it and you do it well, you scale up, you end up employing other people and you mop up the unemployment in the system. So as much as we balance, we try to have, and it's not to say that it's deliberate. Yes, sometimes the information is, the conversation is somewhat sensational, so it becomes the conversation. But there are so many good things happening that they do not have the platform to invest in PR to talk about the good things they are doing. Maybe University of Ghana should, and if they are listening to me, they should have a week where they highlight on what young people are doing. Some of them get poached and they leave Ghana. They go outside. Years later, they come back and they want to sow back into the society. So you take the presidential pitch. Imagine it being amplified in a way that there's more funding going to young people. Because trust me, sometimes the one who wins, the outcome of their business is not as great as the person who probably didn't get to second or third place, but his idea will probably be the one that becomes a huge business in the future.
So this was published by Graphic Online on the 18th of August 2023. It says that the National Democratic Congress has vehemently opposed the newly introduced tax on betting winnings by the government. The NDC National Communications Officer, Sammy Gyamfi, took to social media to clarify the party's stance and address misinterpretations of the earlier comments made during the 2020 election campaign. Sammy Gyamfi, drawing attention to the attempt by certain New Patriotic Party and PP social media activists to twist his previous statements, emphasized that he had discussed the possibility of imposing a tax on sports betting as it's done in the UK during an interview regarding the NDC's plans to fund the Sports Development Fund promised in their 2020 manifesto, the Sports Development Fund. So he goes on to say that, however, they underscored He underscored a crucial distinction between Ghana's new approach and the UK's taxation model. In the UK, bet winnings are not taxed. Instead, betting companies bear the brunt of the taxation. Now, the recent imposition of the 10% on bet winnings in Ghana contradicts the UK's model and the position Sammy Gyamfi had advocated during the 2020 campaign. 1. Sammy Gyamfi's statements, key points. 1. Sports betting is as a necessity. The statement acknowledged that while sports betting might be undesirable, it has become a necessary means of survival for Ghanaian youth facing joblessness and economic hardship caused by the current government policies. Insensitivity of taxation. The imposition of the tax bet winnings amid the country's high inflation rate, 43.1%, and rising unemployment was criticized as insensitive and unacceptable. 3. Focus on multinational companies. The NDC suggests that the government seeks to raise tax revenue from betting. It should target multinational or foreign betting companies rather than burdening struggling Ghanaian youth. 4. Contradiction on social media contract. The NPP government introduction of multiple taxes, including new betting tax, was seen as a betrayal of their promise to reduce the tax burden on Ghanaians and stimulate production. 5. Impact on employed youth. So the statement acknowledged that the sport betting had become a refuge for the unemployed Ghanaian youth who have been adversely affected by the government economic mismanagement. In the light of these arguments, the NDC called for immediate removal of the newly introduced 10% tax on betting winnings, citing an adverse impact on struggling individuals and contract with the NPP's original promises. Because you are just 1 minute on this.
It still goes back to the point that they would rather tax the companies than tax.
So that if you even need more money, increase the taxes for the companies. But if we are to
agree that your winnings are revenue and somebody says soft work, after putting the money in, you don't really engage heavily in the outcomes. Sports, you're not on the pitch playing or whatever. Once you make the income, if we're going to consider as your mainstay, then clearly it needs to be taxed.
But if you want to also consider the sentiments of these persons that are struggling today in our current situation, you have somebody who can bet, as was cited on Good Afternoon Ghana last week, you can bet, say, 300 cedis, you win nothing. You bet the next 300 cedis, you win nothing. You bet another 300 cedis, you win nothing. And then maybe your next bet, 300 cedis, you win, say, 600 cedis. In all, you have bet about 900 cedis and making nothing.
That's why.
But your next 300, you made about 600 cedis from it. Have you gained or have you lost?
Unless you want to make the argument that government has to ensure that once somebody loses a stake, then they have to be compensated. It's a game of chance, 1.
Yeah.
2, we all agree that it is resource sapping. It stifles creativity. It makes people lazy and it's highly addictive. Gambling is not something that we should wash away, but unfortunately, it exists in all forms. For instance, you hear a company, and they are also fall into the tax bracket. If you hear a company doing promotions on sales, it's going to be taxed too. So it's not that you have the luxury of saying that, oh, the poor person who has put in 300 cedis multiple times. For all you know, it was their, allowance for the month. Guess what? Some students even use, and I don't even know why parents do this, if you want to pay your ward school fees, pay directly to the bank or whichever means, give them the receipt and say, I paid your school fees. They hand huge sums of money to the students, and then they decide that they are going to what? Bet. Yes. And they are not betting because they do not have opportunity or they're not getting resource or whatnot. They are betting because they've heard their friends do it. They've heard their friends glamorize betting and making money. I had somebody who said, I know somebody who bets. But I won't even tell you his profession. He's one of the luckiest people I know. Can literally put in 3,000 Ghana cedis and make 72,000 Ghana cedis. Because he sits back and then he calculates the odds. So when you see him living a life that doesn't really reflect his income, you might think that he's doing something fraudulent. He's just taking a game of chance. And he'll tell you, say, Kosi, it's soft work. Soft work meaning that I go to work hard to make my money and I put some of it into gambling. Religiously, some people are uncomfortable about it. I don't bet. I think my biggest bet is I won't even say it, but it has nothing to do with money parting. But once you put in the money and you make, you win. And this is where the conversation has moved over from taxing at the stakes. And this was across board, where no matter what you do, where they also admit that there are loopholes in the software to slap on the 17% tax. But when there's a win, you know that the person has won, so they'll come for their win. And at which point it kicks in and then government gets its bit. And then for the companies as well, they also somewhat, well, it's not for them to shift. It's not like shifting. And per what he's saying, whatever government wishes to slap on the winner should rather be put on the company. I disagree with that.
Likening it to the UK.
I disagree with that because yes, but the UK, the conversation is if you can prove that you are not employed and then this is your mainstay, then you're not taxed. That, I believe, is what the UK does.
But that's what she said threshold, except that she didn't break it down. So
she said she
it
didn't
means that
understand
government must do a lot of work
by
targeting people who are really truly unemployed.
When it comes to discouraging, so for instance, when it comes to tobacco, slapping taxes on tobacco didn't necessarily reduce its usage. In fact, people smoking, ads on how smoking causes cancer and whatnot, has not reduced the people buying it or whatnot. I don't know what it is about smoking that fascinates people so much that they want to smoke. But taxes did not reduce consumption of it. Health ads, even they'll tell you this may cause cancer, they still go ahead to buy. Okay. So when it comes to things that are highly addictive, the risk or burden is on you as an individual, because we cannot use a broad argument and conclude that people, all the people going into it are unemployed. Okay. There are professionals who are gaming every single week and making something out of it.
I always say, I am sorry, Margot, I always say that government has every right to sometimes, okay, my time is up for break, but let Margot quickly before I take a second break.
As I said, and I'll reiterate my point again, if Akosua has gone to York University to learn how to bet, I don't know how to bet.
The threshold is
I
about
don't know how to do it.
But
as I said, the government must consider the people, especially the young unemployed people. That's why I said, are there any studies around it? Who are the people that go into it?
There must be, because she made reference to some data. I was trying to get the source of the data.
So if there are studies around it, what are the bases, like the modus operandi, what went into the taxing? But my point is, we have done it before on lotteries, and it had a threshold. So I did not say I don't know taxes. My point is, I don't bet. So if she has studies in betting, I also don't bet. She can explain, but you don't tell me.
Of common sense, that's all. But I'm just saying that if you do not know, there was a clear question she
Can
asked. No, I don't know why she's making it a huge.
She's clarifying. You misquoted me, and that is not what I said, and I won't let it slide. So if you have PhD in betting, that is you. I don't know, but I expect the government to be reasonable.
You keep saying you don't know, but you keep making emphatic claims.
I expect the government to be rational. I expect the government to put steady in it, because this is the national security issue, and governance and policies are centered on the people. That is my point. And this very government promised the youth of this country for them to give them more, because they said they are not going to tax them. So if you come, you lie, and come and impose higher taxes on the people, the audience or the judgment is with the people. The youth at Adenta, they are watching. The youth in Mamobi, they are watching. They heard the president and his vice and his campaign team that they were not going to tax Ghanaians. They said taxing is a lazy man's approach. So they have come to lazy their ways about and tax the youth.
Let me clarify that, if I may.
Okay. Let me take a break.
I'll be back. You spoke a lot.
But you just lied, and I need to.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say, but as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
My name is John, and this is my long-time crush, my cookie dipped in strawberry yogurt. On this scorching hot afternoon on our way back from a long job hunt, we met this good Samaritan who offered us 6 weeks later.
A special wedding reception for our bride and groom.
And there she is, my cookie, dipped in someone else's yogurt.
Who holds the moolah, calls the shots, play game by games, the easiest lottery to play and win. Big phone numbers from 0 to 9 up to 3 times daily to become one of our daily lucky winners. Dial *946# to play now, or you can also play online at www.gamepackgames.com. Game Park is regulated by the National Lottery Authority.
Over 18 years in business, Appointed Time Printing Limited has delivered quality service to some of Ghana's well-known brands. With our equipment capacity, we are able to deliver 1,500 pieces of polo and t-shirts in 1 hour. This is only possible with us. For retailers and wholesalers, we offer for sale high-quality polo shirts and t-shirts in different colors at affordable prices. We have a one-stop shop for all creative designs and billboards, 3D signages, flexi banners, car branding, stickers and posters. Locate us at the old GNTC building near Swansea Shopping Arcade, Accra. Contact us on 0501 454165, 0501 454167. Connect with us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook at Appointed Time GH. Appointed Time Printing Limited. Our printing is a
JA Plant Food Ghana Limited has introduced the all-new Jetto X70 Plus to the market. Jetto X70 Plus is a modern, spacious family SUV with a stylish design, advanced technology and outstanding quality that promises you luxury with affordability. Jetto X70 Plus comes with an exceptional engine warranty of 4 years or 100,000 kilometers, giving you the ultimate peace of mind for years to come. And our dedicated service center at JA Plant Food offers you a wide range of car services and world-class customer support. Be exclusive and outstanding. Get yourself the all-new Jetto X70 Plus. Get in touch with JA Plant Food Ghana Limited on 020-0000-831 or info@japlantfoodgh.com. Visit japlantfoodgh.com for more information.
Now here, TV, fridge, freezer, air condition, gas cooker, washing machine, smartphone, sound system, water dispenser, microwave, blender, rice cooker, kettle, and iron. Say about Hisense smartphone no sukradia. Yeah, titi so more than a Hisense factory direct promo. It's in your madada noa. Emma light bill kuno. Fasi baby, never jiffle for. Everything 28 August, I copy 2nd September. Be way showroom no. Said they turn no. Sana ye turn. Wait dear, ya titi swap bro so. Who? Hisense. Everyday prices for everyday people. Hello.
Step into success with Accra Business School. Boost your career with a prestigious MSc degrees from KNUST. Pick from Human Resource Management, Communication and International Relations, Public Affairs. In just 12 months, our MBA can be yours. Dive into our BSc programs in IT Security and Cybercrime, IT Management and Business and Management, endorsed by top universities in Ireland and Wales. We offer flexible entry, payment and learning options. It's time to unlock your potential and take flight. Visit www.abs.edu.gh or dial 0263 888 555. Let Accra Business School elevate your future today.
For the Afrobeat craze, they're having a lot of great dance moves to match the new genre of music.
You're welcome back to Good Morning Ghana. I still have Akosia Mini with me and Margaret was
But Annie, back to what I was saying.
Margaret answer. Just a quick one. Let me bet and make some money.
Oh, gosh.
Right? Yeah, let me bet and make some money. So it's a Makers Electronics Blessing Attack promo. It says that rush to the Makers Electronics and Co. Limited for up to 67% discount on selected appliances such as Samsung, LG, Moved, NASCO, TCL, Media, and Toshiba. So quality but affordable with 2 years manufacturer's defect warranty. Visit our showrooms, Taifa Burkina Highway, Amasaman, Zango Junction, Oyarifa, Taiman, Boga Junction, Kaswa New Market, Ashaiman, Vako Flats, Kumasi, Ahinema Kokobing, Takradi, Efie Kuma number 9 Market. Call us on 05522225253 or 0552225254. The Makers Electronic Company Limited, large and in charge with quality but affordable home appliances and customer electronics. Terms and conditions also apply. So, Betway Golden Code promo. Are you ready to get more back with Betway in the new season? Use a golden booking code that can find on the Betway site and place your risk. My guess. The risk-free bet. This one is risk-free. Apart from the government 10% is risk-free. From 25 to 27th August, guaranteed to give you 100% back as a free bet up to 50 cedis if you lose. Okay? So regulated by Gaming Commission of Ghana and not under 18 years. Terms and conditions also apply. So take note of that one as well. All right, Akocha, I want to move on to other issues. I don't have a lot of time. What did you want to say?
I just wanted to say that if a consideration will be made as to where the where the revenue from the amendment will go to, I would plead that it goes into supporting NEIP and specifically targeting incubation hubs in the various universities, University of Ghana, University of Science and Technology. Meltwater, I believe, is a private university, but they also can do with some, capital injection into activities that can help the youth tap into their entrepreneurial skills. I'm saying,
you should tell the minister.
Advocacy is not just sitting, going to talk.
At least we should be telling you to go and tell the sector.
The poverty of aspiration is clear here. If you haven't told me as to what we should do, I can say it myself. Okay. So I'm saying that if that consideration is made, I believe that it will empower the youth to be more creative and to create businesses to absorb other young people who are also looking for
position. We are listening. You put it in our manifesto.
If you put it, you copyright it.
Since you didn't tell your people at home, the opposition repaired them.
You know, you steal it right now. That's what you're saying.
So why is Namwan doing what he's doing?
Annie, Namwan issue. We were sitting here when government. I don't even know. I don't even want to discuss. I don't want to discuss because this is.
We were sitting here, please.
Yetiha,
I wasn't here.
No, she was sitting here.
Yetiha, I wasn't here.
We were here when we warned about this venture, and they said, "You are jealous of a young man building a business. You are jealous of young people when they are doing whatnot." All warnings were not heeded to. Subsequently, we saw, what was it? The first thing we heard was an inability to pay out investments to people that were calling for their investments after maturity. Then it became a whole, it's been how many years now? Almost 4 years, I believe. Annie, I would rather spend my time talking about young people doing amazing things in incubation hubs and NUIP presidential pitches than to discuss an issue where on several occasions people were warned, but they turned their backs to the warnings. There's a new, there was a release which I thought was fake, where it said for you to verify that you are still eligible for your payout or whatever,
you have to
pay 650
digital.
Yes, you pay 650 Ghana cedis
verification.
And for somebody who attempted that, it told the person that congratulations, you'll be paid 2025, August 20th of 2025, which makes people question. Now the same people that were saying government should quote unquote clear off are now asking for sanctions and the law to be applied and whatnot. Interestingly, they said they cannot offer a free verification service.
That is
like they did for the validation exercise. I don't even understand. I don't believe that this first came out. And guess what? People again have committed 650 Ghana cedis
and they still weren't paying.
And it's giving them a 2-year release date of their funds. All we'll say is that when government warns, people should look at it as dispassionately as possible.
But why does government warn and leave people to their fate?
So it's almost as if it's like the betting conversation.
Because this guy,
it's like the betting conversation.
This guy obviously carried out a crime.
Was it obvious? When he was doing it, was it obvious?
No,
so
when he was doing it, it was not obvious.
Okay.
But until
until
the Security and Exchange Commission released a series of statements, we now saw clearly that what was happening was out of the law.
Didn't the partakers of the Men's Gold Scheme tell government to back off, and that's what they do with their private funds is none of anybody's business? Didn't they do that?
So we're punishing them for that?
How is it
for making such statements?
How do you, it's not punishing. If you put your money into a venture, and that venture, you are warned routinely that this is going to be the course eventually of it, and you then suffer the consequences. Do you say you've been punished? Hey, Annie.
So it's difficult to prove. Is it becoming difficult for us to prove in court that someone is carrying out a scamming, scheme? Is it because the guy is free? He's just walking about. Nobody is really asking him any questions.
It's a white collar crime, right? Or is it what kind of crime is it?
This
is white collar. Maybe.
He said, I said I don't want to discuss it because those who took part in it said
I don't want to discuss it either. Yeah. It was just a passing question.
But this one issue, and as I always bring the people in, and no matter what it is, we have a state that has all the apparatus, all the whatever it takes to help the people in distress. I will plead, and whatever it is, people are dying in this situation. I think it started somewhere latter part of 2017, 18, 19, thereabouts. Whatever it takes for the people to get their monies back. Okay. I think
I just saw that they said they paid 5,000 people. So far, I just saw there's a tweet that just in Nana Appiah Mensah, popularly known as Number One,
he's saying all the people who
says Men's Gold has paid 5,000.
He said this about 2 weeks ago, but
what are they?
The victims have denied it. That they don't know who received these monies because they're still pushing.
You see,
but let's go to Niger. We'll talk about Nawan maybe another time. Let's go to Niger. Niger coup leader General Chiani promises to hand over power in 3 years. So Niger coup leader has promised to return the West African nation to civilian rule within 3 years. The Abdurrahmani Tchiani made an announcement after meeting mediators from the West African regional bloc ECOWAS in the capital, Niamey. ECOWAS has threatened military action to reverse last month's overthrow of President Mahamadou Bazoum if talks fail. The junta, someone actually gave me the pronunciation, had said that Niger did not want war, but would defend itself against any foreign intervention. Take note. Quote, if an attack were to be undertaken against us, it will not be a walk in the park. Some people seem to think he warned in a television address on Saturday evening. So General Chiani also reiterated criticisms of what he called illegal and inhumane sanctions imposed by ECOWAS on the landlocked country. This has included cutting electricity, resulting in blackouts in Niamey and major cities, as well as blocking crucial imports. Lorry drivers have been stuck for weeks waiting to bring in supplies, forcing food prices up. And sanctions are not conceived with the aim of finding a solution, but to bring us to our knees and humiliate us. Chiani said thousands of men came to the stadium in Niamey on Saturday to register for the volunteer force in case of invasion. Wow. Although overcrowding prevented the registration process from starting, the Reuters news agency reports crowds near General Senyi Kunche Stadium in Niamey on Saturday regional efforts to reverse the coup have been backed by the US and France, which both have military bases in Niger. These bases are part of efforts to tackle jihadist groups in the wider Sahel region. The leader who headed the Presidential Guard before seizing power on 26th of July 2023 said military intervention could worsen the Islamist insurgencies linked to Al-Qaeda and the Islamic State group. So they seem ignorant to the fact that it is in large part thanks to the professionalism and valor of the defense of the security forces of Niger that Niger has remained a barrier preventing terrorist hordes from destabilizing the whole region, he said. The coup mirrors similar recent takeovers in neighboring Burkina Faso and Mali. Now, there's something I saw over the weekend that I thought that you should know about it. Kenyan man sets himself on fire over cost of living. It says that an unidentified man sets himself on fire on Thursday in Mombasa, alleged to protest the harsh economic challenges facing millions of Kenyans. So he had climbed on top of a statue in the middle of the busy roundabout before setting himself alight. The rising cost of living amid business slowdown and job cuts has pushed millions of Kenyans into despair. The man was incensed by locals who claimed that he was setting himself on fire because he had stolen some goods. In a video that emerged online, the man was seen pouring liquid suspected to be flammable substance into his body before lighting himself. The police officer based in Mombasa confirmed the incident to the local media. The man was rescued and taken to the nearby Coast General Teaching and Referral Hospital where he'd been he was being treated. The rise in the cost of living has primarily been linked to surging fuel prices and persistent drought conditions and depreciation of the shilling. Kenyans have previously taken to the street to protest against a high cost of living. Okay, so it was something that kind of scared me a bit, you know.
I think it's happened before.
Knowing what's happening. It's happened before in Senegal, I think, yes, Senegal, and I think some countries. However, thank God for Ghana. Thank God for Ghana.
Yeah, and
so
that is why I think
Ghana committed, the Daily Statesman, Ghana committed to peace in Niger. So, it said page 2. That's okay. Michael, you go on. When I see it, I'll read it.
And when you said thank God for Ghana, that is what struck me. And I think, first of all, Ghana should hasten slowly in taking or endorsing this ECOWAS decision. And in the first place, I think the Nigerians are happy with what happened. And one will ask, why are the citizens happy? And for now, who is ECOWAS protecting? Because even among the 15 countries, 3 of them are undemocratic. I think 4 are under certain sanctions, and there are others, Cape Verde, Guinea-Bissau, who are not also Burkina, who are also not in support of the military action. And when you look at the posture of the ECOWAS, I think the one in charge, Ambassador Fatal, when they met in Accra on Friday, stating that they are going to do everything, any means possible to restore democracy or constitutional order in Niger. I think ECOWAS must hasten slowly. My interest is in Ghana, in as much as the other countries as well. But in the first place, in 2017, we had the Accra Initiative. It was a collaboration between Ghana, Togo, Burkina Faso, Benin, Ivory Coast, to protect our territorial borders, which is the Accra Initiative. If Burkina is not supporting this action we want to take with ECOWAS, are they going to break cracks with us? What happens to our borders? Our men and women that we are committing into this. If you are going for war, I think there's a saying that the cause must be just. Is this cause just? Are we prepared enough? The security experts will tell you this is a scenario 5 situation where people are going to fight people. It's likely people are going to be killed. And there are steps that must follow. Are we prepared for all these? Any other country? What is the interest? When the president of Niger, is it Batsou or the one that is being held in hostage now? When he was doing things that were undemocratic, what did ECOWAS say? And we heard the opposition parties complaining. Even an opposition leader called Hama was prevented from contesting an election in Niger. And we heard the civil societies complaining about how the president personally handpicked people to become electoral commissioners, where the constitution does not say so. What did ECOWAS say? If Ghana is committing itself to this ECOWAS decision, in the first place, what did we do to protect the citizens when the president was doing undemocratic things? In ECOWAS laws, where if you are going into an elections, there are laws clearly speculated in the country. There are laws that can help to elect or choose or select an electoral commissioner. But the president handpicked people to become electoral commissioners. And today, if there is war, ECOWAS is saying they will use all means possible. So when all these unconstitutional practices...
There's no war, it's a coup.
There's coup. They will use all means possible. So when all these undemocratic practices was going on by the president, who was one of them, what did they tell him?
But you know, they were going, in the first instance, they were going to combat it after they met here in Accra.
Yes.
And then they reviewed their stance. So now we're negotiating. The leader says...
The negotiation is very important. ECOWAS should not put ego in this because lives are involved. Fine, they made the first attempt, it didn't work. They shouldn't come in. The military should be the last resort. They should use the preventive, democratic, diplomatic way of engaging them. They are traditional leaders in Niger, they are women groups, they are youth groups. I think they are, they are religious groups. I think they should use that kind of diplomatic message, a persuasive way, in a way, and talk to the people and let them understand that they are not fighting the people. They are there for the people. We should understand why we need to coexist as people. Yeah. I think if we become a little bit diplomatic and not try to use force, it will go a long way to help because the people themselves are happy with what is happening. Therefore, you must be very, very careful to get into such things. The military, and it should be the last thing. And Ghana, I understand there's a certain percentage, whether 5% or so, that it's always been put into this ECOWAS peace something fund. If we are committing fund to it, Annie, as I said again, we need to think about it carefully. Is this cause just? Are our men and women in uniform, are they prepared? And if we are learning democracy, I think we should learn from the advanced people. I think if Ghana were to be US, by now the president should be in their Senate trying to explain how much is involved, how their men and women going for the war are being protected, what is into it. The president will go and explain until he gets a congressional approval. So if Ghana is going into this, you and I, we have representative in parliament. This should go for parliament ratification and let everybody's voice be heard. I have a member of parliament. If I cannot speak to him directly, there are people that can send our concerns through. Your member of parliament, so I think you can do same. So they go and, take parliamentary approval so that we will know that the entire country is for or against. I hear there's a certain broadcast media, maybe not scientific, but there's been a research where 82% of Ghanaians are not in support of it. I don't know whether it was scientifically.
Yeah, I haven't said.
As I said, I don't know whether it's scientifically proven, but
that's a commentary on the front page of the Informer. It says that Niti will be able, it's a commentary, Niti will be able to carry the body bags of dead Ghanaian soldiers. Even the write-up is going. I don't want to see body bags.
We all have representation in Parliament, and we should go to Parliament and ask whether Ghanaians are ready for it, and we should know if they are going, whether their approval will be given or not. How much are we committing into it? How prepared are we? We are sending people's husbands, wives, uncles, fathers, whatever, because this is war.
Well, let's have...
The country must hasten slowly.
Let me change you a bit. 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yes.
Niger. I'm just thinking back to, I think it was a year and a half ago, I had to visit Niger and then something came up, so I never went. I was actually somewhat looking forward to have visited. There was a youth activity, youth conference there. Anyway, the president of Niger has been in power for just 2 years. Right? 2 years, coming on the back end of a COVID-19 pandemic. The last report when it comes to Africa as a whole, Africa is literally in the doldrums. As a continent, historically, we've never been at that level before. Now, the coup that was staged for me, the timing of it, the understanding of the issues, I don't even want to... maybe it's nuanced. I don't know what their media churns out there. I don't know what dialogue they have in relation to citizens and government in trying to, discuss the challenges they face, what the future looks like, how long they are going to be in whatever situation they are in. It's no different from what you also go through here in trying to explain the difficulties and whatnot. But I'm looking. I just quickly checked a day ago. The leader Chiani, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. says he's open to dialogue, which I feel it's somewhat ceding a bit of the resistance, the posture of resistance and tough talking he was doing earlier. It is not of anybody's interest for there to be prolonged unrest in Niger, because it's us that will suffer for it. I'm not comfortable with the 3-year grace period, quote unquote, that is being considered. But the last couple of days...
It's too long or it's too short?
I think it's too long, especially if they don't know what they're doing. It's easy for people to say they want to hold on to power, as we saw here. And Ghana has gone through 2 coups and we saw what transpired. You can want it and you'd definitely see a handful of people, hundreds of people somewhere saying, yeah, we champion it. And later, the stark reality is what goes into governance, the thinking, the preparation, the tough decisions that you need to take. You realize that if you don't have the brains for it, it's not going to take you anywhere. But the last couple of days has given a glimmer.
Literacy rate, I think it's about 30-something%.
It's
37%.
They are not one of the brightest countries in terms of their achievements and whatnot. But sadly, all their natural resources, as we've seen, just like most African countries, have gone to improving the lives of other developed states.
Right.
I think that we've seen a glimmer of hope in the last couple of days. I believe that extra engagement would bring it back to a level where we tolerate each other, especially between ECOWAS and the leaders. People have very little hope in ECOWAS. In fact, the last couple of weeks have shown how angry people feel that ECOWAS is just some, rubber stamp sort of sitting duck when it comes to things that are happening.
No, don't you believe so?
I believe on the evidence on the pink sheet, as they will say. When I look, they seem to act after the fact, and that there's enough evidence of that. When we saw Macky Sall, Senegal, 7-year mandate, trying to, all that, it makes you wonder at which point do you pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Maybe sometimes the constitution of the body itself, because you can't have member states in there who contravene democratic laws as set. So whoever is there, calling them out like we have, I feel that it's a good step. People are bolder now, and Africans are asking the right questions. That Niger has gone through this process. Niger's resources goes to France. What does France do to help Niger move along? Look at the literacy rate that you're speaking of. 30% in a region in Africa in 2023. It's way below the impact, even the SDG goals and all those things that we want to achieve in the 2063 goals. So I want to see peace reign. Peace equates progress, and without that, Niger is not going anywhere. So the coup leaders need to keep that in mind and put people first. I can't imagine what women and children have gone through in the last couple of days. There's always women and children that suffer.
So someone is just reminding me of something which is critical. He says that I think there was a story, I don't know if you guys heard it, that there was this guy who committed suicide over hardships in Ghana. He was supposed to have been posted somewhere in one village, and he committed suicide. That was a story.
At the village?
Yes.
Before he went?
No, at the village where he was.
But sometimes
when
we
saw, the body being carried out and all, I'm not sure I saw the end of that story. But someone reminded when I read the Kenyan story.
The Kenyan story, do you know they have challenges with food, even buying food?
Yes.
There's a Kenyan that visited and was said, Ghana, when you travel within the continent, when you come back home, anytime you touch,
you see the clear.
You see we are blessed. Yes, we are not in a perfect space. And it's good to always have an opposition on their toes, checking you and saying all those things. I don't mind it, so long as it's not laced with propaganda and lies. But Kenya is going through it. Food is a problem. So you see social media, you see some influencers and they are Kenyan and they are balling. And at the same time, these people struggle to get groceries, basic, in shops. The only difference in Ghana is some people will say, you see the food, but buying what you want is a difficulty. So instead of corned beef, you might opt for sardine or something else. But
anyway,
we thank God for the peace we have. To do better, yes, to be a shining example. So.
Especially for Africa, Ghana.
But he came at the back end of a crippling economy. COVID shut everybody down. So 2 years, I don't know what the expectations are. That's why I'm saying that it's always important to see what conversations have gone on. What news are the people inundated with? Maybe there's something they wanted that they didn't get. But
there's a young man that has sent me a message. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Just reading a little. It says, Madam, please, good morning. Please, my name is Benowu. I hope I pronounced it correctly. Benowu Prince. I work with Launcher Group of Companies. I'm a full-time machine operator who goes to work every day, except on Sundays. Okay, this argument on a 10% tax all winning bets is to discourage young people from betting because it's making the youth lazy and ridiculous and frivolous. So I go to work every day, but yes, still I bet. So what are they thinking? What are they talking about? You can stake bets within 5 minutes. So you can stake bets within 5 minutes. So they should stop the arguments.
It's not just
so yesterday I staked a bet of 2,000 and I won 3,000. So I made a profit of 1,000 cedis, but they paid me 2,900, meaning 100 cedis is gone, and all in the name of 10% tax on the winnings. The claims that the betting is making the youth lazy is never true. Tell them to create the jobs, and we will do it with good salary. Thank you.
But he just said he's a machine operator.
I think very soon we'll just invite some of you on Good Afternoon Ghana. It's more flexible where we can have
2,000.
So
somebody
Ghanaians
says
themselves come
that
and
you
talk
can
about
bet
some
as
of
low
these
as
things.
1 cedi or 50 pesos.
So there you have it.
So there's no limit depending on the
But let's take a break.
Okay,
we'll be back shortly.
Annie hasn't been taking breaks, and we are done, right?
No, we are starting. We take a
Here, TV, fridge, freezer, air condition, gas cooker, washing machine, smartphone, sound system, water dispenser, microwave, blender, rice cooker, kettle, and iron. Seven Hisense smartphone no sukradia. Yeah, titi so more than a Hisense factory direct promo. It's in your madada noa. Emma light bill kuno. Fasi baby. Never for. Everything 28 August, I copy him 2nd September. The Pierre way showroom no. Saturday at no. Sana yet on. Wait dear. Ya titi swab broso. Who? Hisense. Everyday prices for everyday people.
My son, there's more blessing in giving than receiving. When you fear for you and kobo the makers in
The pneumatological abrasion of the Lord revealed unto me this night that me and my household should go out into the world and bless the world.
Makers Electronics Company Limited. Emma up to 67% discount. Our selected appliances.
This is what I call quintessential immaculatability.
The Makers Electronics Company Limited. Ewo Taifa Burkina Highway. Amasama Zongo Junction. Edike Pharmacy Dining. Oyer Fateman Boga Junction. Ashaman Valco Flat. Kumasi. Ahinema Kokobin. Asafu Bwachi Hospital Junction.
Sakrani. Kuma. Number 9 Market.
Tell mom and dad about the Makers Blessing Attack program.
From 0552 222 253 and 0552 222 254.
Terms and conditions apply.
The same got to move na mesesi.
All right, you're welcome back. Okay, so just a quick one. Our time is up, but a quick one before we go. Harriet, you're welcome. Good morning.
Thank you. It's time for trend now. Nam1 is trending because he says that we should pay $6.50 to subscribe so that our monies that are locked with him, he can pay us in 2025. And also Baumia is also trending because the moderator of Presby says that he is a unifier and that he's going to unify.
He literally spoke in his favor.
Yes, so that is something that is also trending. And Shatawale is also trending at the moment because Ashake, you know Ashake, right? Yeah, he filled the O2 Arena in London, and Ashake has been in the music industry for 2 years.
Let me tell you what I saw this morning about Shatawale, wherever he's watching me from. So I came out from my junction and I saw this guy. You know, he looks like one of these unemployed, sort of holding his small speaker, listening to music, pacing up and down, listening to Shatawale.
Wow.
I just looked, I'm like, that's a real Shatta.
Yeah.
You know, guy.
And he's able to pull
and
the
he was smiling at the rap and rapping along.
Yeah.
And I paid attention to it. It was interesting.
So, yeah, I wish we can take
him.
some of the comments with the Nam1 and then Baumia and then Shatawale as well. So let's take some comments with
okay, we're told that we can't take
okay
all right, for the technical hitch,
this one is to Jasmine Kukwa Techi Champon on graduating from the University of Ghana School of Law with first class. This is a remarkable achievement, and we hope it is
with
the beginning beginning of many accomplishments in your legal career. Wishing you the very best, Miss Jasmine Champon. And this is from Benjamin Alpha Edu.
All right, Mr. Alex Egbefia, lawyer Alex Egbefia, thank you for your message as well. I've seen the rest of the messages also wishing me. I'm so grateful to all of you that have helped me, grow me, and made me who I am today. I'm so grateful. Thanks for watching Good Morning Ghana. We'll be back tomorrow, but I'll meet you again in the afternoon, and I'll greet you. Good afternoon, Ghana. Be back.
Leadership is the fulcrum around which all human development efforts